An important aspect of New Ageism is crystals and holistic healing. According to Pathos.com, the goal of the New Age movement is heightened spiritual consciousness and the eradication of hunger, sickness, poverty, and war. How people go about seeking higher well-being varies, but the psychic practices of New Ageism are rooted in Eastern religious traditions and European spiritual practice. According to Pacific Standard, Egyptians used lapis lazuli, turquoise, quartz, and topaz to protect the living and the dead. In Greece, around the same time, amethyst was used to protect against having hangovers. Today, crystals are used in a more decorative sense. Celebrities like Kylie Jenner and Katy Perry often wear crystal accessories. Something that used to be a part of counterculture is now popular. According to The Guardian, marketing and media sites like BuzzFeed and Refinery29 are capitalizing on these trends. Fashion and beauty companies as well as Dior and feminist beauty brands are now using crystals in advertising and in their products. Crystal and spirituality is more popular with 20 and 30-year-olds than ever. A 2015 Pew Research study suggests that the use of crystals are allowing young people to connect with their spirituality in a more individualistic way. Spiritual beauty blogger Ruby Warrington said, "It reflects a shift away from materialism and mass consumerism that was sparked by the financial crash of 2008, when we were reminded of material marketers of success can literally vanish overnight."
We sat down with Stacey Wheaties, Bo Larga, and Ariana Pasco at Dark Star Visuals to talk to them about their experience in the New Age movement.
So New Ageism is a movement that is slowly becoming more popular in Northwest Arkansas. How would you describe your role in the New Age movement here in Northwest Arkansas, as well as in your own life? How do you fit into the lifestyle of New Ageism? And how did you first begin to become a part of this lifestyle in Northwest Arkansas?
My role, I've never really identified with it as a role of a subculture. It's just kind of
A lifestyle.
lifestyle, yeah. It's been what I do. Following the Grateful Dead at a young age is how I got involved with opening the business. From there, you're just exposed to alternative lifestyles.
The Grateful Dead was an American folk rock band that formed in 1965 in Palo Alto, California. They toured at multiple venues around the United States throughout the 60s and 70s, and were followed by their loyal fans, known as Deadheads, who would follow the group on the road and attend as many of their shows as possible in order to stay connected to the community. The Deadhead community was a breeding ground for the New Age movement, as they embraced the counterculture of the 1960s, which involved spiritual connectedness and mysticism. One of the more notable events that the Grateful Dead participated in was the Woodstock Music and Art Fair in August of 1969, according to Woodstock.com. Michael Lang, one of 4 men who produced the festival, said that the most important part of the festival was the connection to one another felt by all of us who worked on the festival, all those who came to it, and the millions who couldn't be there but were touched by it.
Crystals and the aspect of healing in the New Age movement is something that is widely talked about, and there is a lot in the aspect of crystals. Can you explain what these crystals do and what they mean?
Everything's got an energetic value to it, a balance, and I believe that everything on the planet, from plants to rocks, wind and
Earth, wind,
yeah,
fire.
Yeah, it all has some kind of precious connection to the earth and healing properties.
And I don't think anyone who gets into stones is real formulaic about it. If you really feel them,
It's hard to explain sometimes because
Yeah.
it's more of
It's
like
such
a
an
feeling.
intuition, you know.
Such an internal process.
How do crystals and beads affect your health? What are their healing properties, and how do you know how to use each crystal?
All gems and minerals have healing properties, and they all have different ones.
Okay.
And a lot of times the color of the stone is connected to your energy system called the chakra system.
theoretically chakras run up and down the spine and above the spine and below the spine, but they're usually envisioned as whirling energy centers. And when you work with stones, you will, to me, there's nothing very subtle about stone energies, the good stones, the ones that are strong. And you can feel very distinctly different areas of your body light up, whether you want to call them chakras or not. There's definitely a sense of some stones being felt lower down and some felt above in the brain and above. But you were talking about health effects. Really, what for me anyway, what it did when I first began noticing was it broke up your old armoring, your old defense mechanisms, your habits, your muscle memories, all those things that get to be a rut. It blows them open. So that ends up being kind of healing.
People in the New Age lifestyle tend to dress in flowy and colorful outfits. What are some of the defining characteristics of your style, and how does the way that you dress make you feel?
In the late 80s, early 90s. And at that point, I'd been on the road. I'd been following the band for about 12 years already. And so that's where the colorful clothing comes in, and Ari goes to festivals all the time.
It's all, I feel like the lifestyle has a lot to do with expression. So like through color, through clothing, it's just all, that's why colorful tie-dye, it's very expressive.
And it's a little out of the conservative norm. Yeah.
And the clothing is comfortable.
Yeah, I was going to say
Dance in it.
I choose to be comfortable all the time, so a lot of the clothes we have here are very comfortable.
Stereotypically, when thinking of the New Age and living a naturalistic lifestyle, people often think of a 70s hippie or something of the like. Does this stereotype offend you? And on broader terms, do you think that the media portrays you wrongly, or that you are being judged unfairly by the masses, or judged in general?
I don't know if you can actually Google old articles about Dark Star, but it's usually more celebrated than judged.
Okay.
And since I've been here 27 years, I've got a clientele that has grown up with me. And honestly, my demographic is 4 years old to 80, which is great. And I've got a lot of women in their 70s and 80s that come in and bring me jewelry to repair for them, or come in and get something custom made.
There's always ignorant people in the world, in any kind of genre, that people judge everything and anything that they don't understand.
New Ageism has many groups and organizations surrounding it, many of which operate independently of one another. One such group is the Ozark Research Institute. They're a not-for-profit organization located in Fayetteville, about 10-minute drive from the University of Arkansas. According to the West Coast Dowsers, which is a New Age group, the institute was founded in 1992 by Harold and Gladys McCoy. Their stated goal is to serve humanity through education, healing, spiritual awakening, and holistic research. They accomplish this by providing hope and healing through education and treatment in the latest holistic disciplines, empowering individuals in their healing quest by integrating mind, body, and spirit, and providing a safe and nurturing and healing environment. Much of their research is centered around the healing potential of thought, and they provide services that put this to use. The Institute has a very dedicated and talented group of healing facilitators who regularly send healing energy to those in need. They frequently have guest speakers, lectures, and workshops to help educate and motivate people in the ways of New Ageism. They also have a quarterly journal that can be found on Scribed.com. More information about the Ozark Research Institute can be found on their own website at ozarkresearch.org.
I think they're actually studying what the possibilities are. Scientists are going to have one view on stones and their healing properties. Although, look at crystal quartz, they're used in computers. And they're used in your phone, your LED.
How do you feel about the commercialization of New Ageism and living a natural lifestyle because of big businesses who sell stones and the boho trend?
Great, bring it on.
Yeah.
I think that it puts it in people's lives that wouldn't normally have crystals, and even if they don't know what the crystals are about or what their properties are, the crystals will still work.
Do you consider newcomers welcome in this lifestyle? How are people treated in this lifestyle that are genuinely interested in learning about crystals, stones, and etc.?
But we're here as a place to converge and figure it out.
This is a social hub, this store. No, really, it is. It's common knowledge. amongst us, at least amongst so-called hippies. I'm not a hippie, am I? Am I a hippie?
I don't think you're a hippie.
I may have become one.
You
but-
have hippie tendencies.
Yeah.
But
So I don't mean to narrow it down like that, or New Agers, you know. But it is a social gathering point.
In Northwest Arkansas, how has your store stood out amongst the traditional views of most Southern Christian individuals who reside in our state?
When I first opened the store, I would get flyers under my door that were like religious Christian flyers that were like about Sanctum, and this is before I
Yeah.
was even carrying a lot of stones in here aside from the strands of gemstone beads. But I didn't have a lot of crystals and stuff, and it's like, they don't even know what this is. They are putting these flyers under the door because there's the word dark in the store name, which incidentally is the name of a song that the Grateful Dead used to do, Dark Star.
How does the culture of New Ageism and living naturalistic lifestyle influence your perception of the world?
you can see different perspectives other than your own, which is really important because your own perspective can be completely biased, you know, so.
Because for me, I'm one less crazy person in the world.
The world is much bigger than you realize. That's what you learn the most. The world is, there's a lot more to the world than you suspected. Beyond your little envelope here, and then you understand also that you're in connection with the world, that a lot of times your mood is being determined by your environment.
The state of Arkansas sits on top of one of the world's largest and purest deposits of crystal quartz, competing only with Brazil for the bragging right of having the best quality of quartz, according to Arkansas Tourism. This deposit makes the natural state more energized towards spiritual and metaphysical energies. This characteristic makes Arkansas more attractive to New Age practitioners, as quartz amplifies the properties of other crystals. Dark Star Visuals was founded 27 years ago, just off of the Fayetteville Square, and has served as Fayetteville's connection to the New Age movement by selling products like crystals, clothing, and other mystic goods that can help connect the shopper to the metaphysical healing properties of spiritual energy.
You can kind of dig through and be like, oh, I would really benefit from this, you know. So this is kind of where the tumbled stones are.
Sure.
Can you show us
some of your more popular options, or that people like?
I guess it really just depends.
Sorry.
My favorite, one of my favorites is labradorite, which is these stones. And they kind of, some have, let me see, this one's probably better. You can see like blue-green hues underneath the stone. They're my favorite because of the way they look, which some people, you know, have favorites because of the aesthetic part of it. So labradorite brings forth magic, protection, and there's an affirmation under it that says, I call forth the magic of higher awareness. So each one has their own kind of affirmations and healing properties. They're all pretty popular. These are just going to be all kind of more popular because we keep them in stock. We keep in stock the ones that people come in for often. So amethyst is a really popular one.
According to Larga, you can tap into the stones by envisioning energy running between yourself and the crystals in order to create a resonance within the stone. According to Larga, vibration is what crystals do. He looks at them as a more intense manifestation of vibration than the average things in your environment. And once you clue into stone energies, you really begin to notice that everything in the environment has a vibrational property, and you become more sensitive to the general environment.